Well, here we go again. This is the video for the 6th of July, and the title is Many Still Believe the Lies. As many times as I have repeated it over the past 5+ years, including sharing more analysis of the situation by those who have studied it in more detail than me, I still get viewers of my channel who, for whatever reason, do not comprehend that the entire fiat monetary system has been fraud all along. No so-called income taxes have ever been collected, have ever gone for roads, education, or any of the other supposed services provided by the current criminal operation we have known as government. It's all been fraud, a deception that has been foisted upon an ignorant public all of our lives. The United States government has not operated as such since the 1880s. Yes, for well over a century. What's it going to take to wake people up to the horrific truth that our U.S. leaders have been demonically inspired criminals engaged in treachery, debauchery, and murder longer than any of us have been alive? Behind it all, it has been the Pope and the evil, unholy Roman Empire operating as a universal church. It's so difficult to get people to see beyond the deception. Indeed, if I sound a bit frustrated, I've been frustrated for a while because I'm still getting certain individual of my friends saying that the revaluation and the resetting of the everything, and I just realized I've got to turn this phone off. I don't have the answering machine turned off, though. In any case, let me get that too, so that the machine is off. Anyway, I have certain friends that keep telling me that that it's all happening and it's going to be announced, and that there's a new president of the United States, that Obama and all that whole lot of them have stepped down, and there's going to be a new election with a real republic, and that the Speaker of the House is actually the interim president for right now. I don't even remember his name right now. But in any case, I keep getting this message from actually a few people, believe it or not. And then I have other people telling me that that's all bunk, that none of that is real, it's not going to happen. And these people, at least some of them, seem to be still trying to keep the cabal in power and keep it running the way that it's always been all of our lives. The criminal operation known as the Corporation of the United States of America, or USA Inc. And it's not a government. It's a privately held for-profit corporation, and there's only a relative handful of people who own it and who run it. Just like the Catholic Church that I named has been behind the whole thing. They were the ones that started the ball rolling, and then it went to the City of London, and they added the City of London to the unholy, it wasn't a Trinity yet then, till they added Washington, D.C., then it became the unholy Trinity. And this operation of control of planet Earth has been going on in that vein all of our lives. It actually dates back, the priesthood, the unholy priesthood dates back millennia, not just hundreds of years, not going back to Rome, before Rome, way back to Egypt. Anastasia talked about that, and others have talked about the Anunnaki coming in and setting up this shadow government and operating from behind the scenes. They supposedly were taken out of power in 1990-something, I think. But they're supposedly been removed, and now it's just the cabal, the human element, hanging on, and not all of them are actually human, according to some people. And there's all sorts of stories and counter stories and operations and counter operations. And quite honestly, folks, I used to think I knew the answer, because I believed what was told to me that seemed to resonate with my vision of a better world. Nevertheless, I have to admit that nothing happened in 2012 or 2011 before that. Nothing has happened since then. You say, there's Ron, things have been happening all along. Yes, but the same control grid still remains in power. I still lost my house. I still have certain issues that have not been able to be resolved. I still live on very little income, and this month, with a 5-week month and some extra bills that I didn't count on, I'm going to be scraping the bottom of the barrel by the next payday, and hopefully I'll make it. And I'm not asking for money. Believe me, I'm not asking for donations. I appreciate the people that reached out and helped me when I was in Australia, especially, that enabled me to go on the trip to begin with, and then bailed me out when I was abandoned when I was on the other side of the world. I've gone through all of these things, and I'd like to be able to say, folks, the good news is coming. And I do believe the good news is coming. Do I know that it's going to happen in my lifetime? That's part of my problem. That's part of my problem. I don't want to die without seeing the kingdom of heaven manifested on earth, because all of my life I believe that was my mission. And it's not about focusing inside. It's about focusing outside. It's about seeing the proof. The proof is in the manifestation. It's not in the promises. There is no proof in promises. They're only promises, and they're not real till they manifest. I've said that before. I'll say it again. I'll keep on saying it. Nothing is real until it reaches the level of manifestation. That's what brings something into reality in our life experience. Nothing else can do that. No promise can do that. No changing our focus can do that. It takes the reality of the fulfillment of what has been promised, the kingdom of heaven on earth. So in any case, you can believe what you want. I'm not going to argue with you, even though some of you are trying to engage me and get me to keep repeating stuff that's already been repeated. There's plenty of positive, good, honest information about the United States and about its corruption. There's lots of information about this. If you don't want to believe it, it's in your bag. It's your prerogative. It's not up to me to try to argue with you and to convince you that you're wrong and I'm right. And neither is it your job to try to convince me that I'm wrong and you're right. And at this point, I don't know. I guess that means I'm an agnostic, because is that what I don't know means? It means I don't know. So I still hope for positive, actual fulfillment of the kingdom of heaven on earth. I still hope for that. I still want that. And if I'm not going to get that in my lifetime, I don't even want to prolong my life. I'm not going to kill myself, but neither do I want to live. I don't want to keep living in a world that's run by demons. That's just the way it is. Thank you for listening, and namaste.